As our cities grow, green spaces shrink. This video explores how urban design contributes to nature deficit disorder and how innovative city planning can help reconnect us with nature, even in the heart of our busiest metropolises. Welcome to Concrete Jungle Fever, urban design's role in nature deficit disorder. As we stand amidst the towering skyscrapers and the bustling streets of our urban cities, it's really easy to feel disconnected from the natural world. The concrete, the glass, and the steel that surround us have become the dominant features of our daily lives, often leaving little room for the green spaces that our bodies and our minds crave.
In this video, we're going to explore a pressing issue of our time: how the very design of our cities is contributing to nature deficit disorder. We'll dive into the ways that urban planning decisions have gradually pushed nature into the margins of our daily experiences and how this separation is affecting our well-being. But this isn't just a tale of urban woe. We'll also uncover the exciting and innovative ways that cities around the world are fighting back against this trend. From vertical gardens climbing up skyscrapers to pocket parks tucked in between buildings, urban planners and designers are finding creative solutions to reintegrate nature into our concrete jungles. We'll examine how these green interventions are not just about aesthetics, but they're about fundamentally reshaping our urban environments to support our physical and mental health. We'll explore how access to nature in cities can reduce stress, improve air quality, boost biodiversity, and can even help combat climate change. As we journey through this topic, we'll challenge the notion that cities and nature are inherently at odds. Instead, we'll discover how innovative urban design can create harmonious spaces where the built environment and the natural world coexist and thrive together. So join us as we navigate the concrete canyons and discover the green oases hidden within. It's time to explore how we can transform our urban landscapes from contributors to nature deficit disorder into catalysts for a renewed connection with the natural world. Welcome to the future of our cities, where gray meets green in perfect harmony. Let's begin by examining how our urban landscapes have evolved and contributed to nature deficit disorder. This story of modern cities is the one of unprecedented growth and transformation. First, consider the rapid growth of urban areas worldwide. In 1950, only 30% of the world's population lived in urban areas, but today, that figure has skyrocketed to over 55%, and it's projected to reach 68% by 2050. This explosive urban growth has reshaped our physical environment at an astonishing pace. Cities have expanded outwards, swallowing up natural areas. They've also grown upwards, where skyscrapers are now replacing what were once open spaces. This urbanization has been driven by economic opportunities, technological advancements, and the promise of improving living standards. However, it's often come at the cost of our connection with nature. This leads us to our second point: the decrease in accessible green spaces within a city. As urban areas have densified, many cities have seen a significant reduction in parks, community gardens, and other natural spaces. In some rapidly developing cities, green spaces per capita has declined by as much as, get this, 40% in just a few decades. Even when green spaces do exist, they're often unevenly distributed. Wealthier neighborhoods tend to have more parks and more trees, while lower-income areas often lack access to nature. This creates this form of environmental injustice, where the benefits of nature are not equally available to all city dwellers.
Lastly, let's consider how urban design has often prioritized efficiency over nature. In the rush to accommodating growing populations and economic activities, city planners have frequently opted for designs that maximize space usage and transportation efficiency. This has resulted in cities dominated by straight lines, right angles, and impermeable surfaces. Consider how many cities are laid out in grid systems, with little regard for natural topography or ecosystems, or how urban water forms, once teeming with biodiversity, have been replaced by concrete embankments and high-rise buildings. Even our streets, which could be green corridors, are often designed solely for vehicular traffic, with little space for trees or plants. This efficiency-first approach extends to the buildings as well. The glass and the steel towers that define many city skylines are marvels of engineering, but they often create environments that are completely divorced from nature. Many office workers spend their days in climate-controlled spaces with little natural light and connection to the outside world. All these factors, rapid urbanization, shrinking green spaces, and nature-blind design have contributed significantly to nature deficit disorder in urban populations. They've created environments where encounters with nature are rare and often require deliberate effort, rather than being an integral part of daily life. However, as we'll explore later, this trend is not irreversible. Innovative urban designers and city planners are finding ways to reintegrate nature into our urban fabric, creating cities that are not only efficient and productive, but also green and healthy and connected to the natural world. What's your favorite green space in your city? Share it with us in the comments. Tell us about why you love it so much. The nature-starved urban environments we've created don't just change our physical surroundings, they profoundly impact our health, our well-being, and our social dynamics. Let's explore these effects in detail. First, let's consider the physical health issues associated with nature-deprived urban spaces. One of the most pressing concerns is increased pollution. Cities with minimal green spaces often suffer from poor air quality due to the lack of trees and plants that naturally filter out pollutants. This can lead to higher rates of respiratory diseases, allergies, and other health problems. And to go even deeper, urban designs that prioritize vehicular traffic over pedestrian-friendly green spaces often discourage physical activity. When there's no parks nearby or pleasant walking routes, people are less likely to engage in regular exercise. This contributes to higher rates of obesity, cardiovascular disease, and other conditions related to having a sedentary life. The urban heat island effect is another physical consequence. Cities with little vegetation and lots of heat-absorbing surfaces like concrete and asphalt can be significantly warmer than surrounding areas. This not only increases energy consumption for cooling, but it can also lead to heat-related illnesses, particularly among vulnerable populations. Turning to mental health, the impact of nature-starved environments is equally concerning. Numerous studies have linked lack of access to green spaces with increased stress, increased anxiety, and increased rates of depression. The constant stimulation of urban environments without the restorative effects of nature can lead to mental fatigue and reduced cognitive function. A study in the Journal of Landscape and Urban Planning found that people living in urban areas with little green space had a 20% higher risk of developing anxiety disorders and a 40% higher risk of mood disorders compared to those with ample access to nature. This highlights how crucial green spaces are for our psychological well-being. Children in nature-deprived urban environments may also face developmental challenges. Research suggests that regular access to nature plays a vital role in children's cognitive, emotional, and social development. Without these experiences, children may struggle with attention disorders, emotional regulation, and even basic motor skills. And lastly, let's consider the social implications of our concrete-dominated cities. Urban designs that lack communal green spaces often result in reduced community interaction. Parks, community gardens, and other shared natural areas serve as social hubs where people can meet, interact, and build relationships. Without these spaces, social isolation can increase, particularly among vulnerable groups like the elderly. Nature-starved environments can also exacerbate social inequalities. As mentioned earlier, green spaces are often unequally distributed, with lower-income neighborhoods typically having less access to these spaces. This green space gap, as we call it, can lead to discrepancies in health outcomes and quality of life between different socioeconomic groups. Furthermore, the lack of nature in urban environments can disconnect people from the natural world, leading to a reduced environmental awareness and concern. This, my friends, can have broader implications for society's approach to environmental issues and sustainability.
It's clear that the consequences of nature-starved urban environments extend far beyond mere aesthetics. They touch every aspect of our lives, our physical health, our mental well-being, and our social fabric. However, as we'll explore next, there are innovative solutions emerging to address these challenges and bring nature back into our urban landscapes. If you're passionate about creating greener cities, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content on sustainable urban living. As we've seen the challenges posed by nature-starved urban environments, it's time to explore the innovative solutions that urban designers and city planners are implementing to bring nature back into our cities. These creative approaches are transforming our urban landscapes, proving that even in the densest metropolises, there's room for green. Let's start with vertical gardens and green walls. These innovative designs take advantage of vertical spaces on buildings to introduce plant life into urban areas. Pioneered by the botanist Patrick Blanc, these living walls can transform the facades of buildings into lush, verdant ecosystems. Check out the one behind me. They not only add beauty to cityscapes, but also provide numerous benefits. They provide air quality by filtering pollutants and producing oxygen. They reduce the urban heat island effect by absorbing sunlight and providing natural cooling in its shade. They increase biodiversity by providing habitats for birds and other insects. And they can help with building insulation as well by reducing energy costs. Cities like Singapore have embraced this concept wholeheartedly, with buildings like the Oasia Hotel downtown featuring a spectacular 21-story green facade that's home to 21 species of creepers and vines. Next, let's look at rooftop parks and community gardens. As ground-level spaces become scarce in a lot of cities, designers are increasingly looking upwards. Rooftop gardens and parks offer a clever way to introduce green spaces without requiring additional land. One stunning example is the High Line in New York City, an elevated park built on a former railroad track. This innovative project transformed an abandoned industrial structure into a vibrant public space that attracts millions of visitors every year. But it's not just a park, it's a linear ecosystem running through the heart of Manhattan. Community gardens, whether on rooftops or on repurposed vacant lots, offer urban residents the chance to grow their own food and reconnect with nature. These spaces provide so many benefits, including the fact that they increase access to fresh, healthy food, particularly in urban food deserts. They foster a sense of community and social interaction. They offer educational opportunities, especially for kids, to learn about plants and ecosystems. And they contribute to urban biodiversity, and they provide habitats for pollinators. Finally, let's explore urban rewilding projects and wildlife corridors. These ambitious initiatives aim to reintroduce native ecosystems into urban areas and create connections between fragmented habitats. Urban rewilding projects involve allowing nature to reclaim parts of the city. This might mean transforming unused lots into meadows, letting rivers return to their natural courses, or creating urban forests. For example, the city of Utrecht in the Netherlands embarked on a project to rewild its canal banks, replacing stone walls with natural sloping banks that support a rich variety of plant and animal life. Wildlife corridors take this concept even further by creating connected green spaces that allow animals to move safely through urban areas. These might be underpasses or overpasses designed for wildlife, connected parks, or even streams and rivers restored to their natural state. In Seoul, South Korea, there was a stream restoration project that transformed a covered urban waterway into an 11-kilometer corridor of nature running straight through the center of the city, dramatically improving biodiversity and the quality of life for residents. These innovative solutions demonstrate that with creativity and commitment, we can integrate nature even into the most densely built urban environments. By embracing these approaches, cities can combat nature deficit disorder, improve residents' health and well-being, and create a more sustainable, resilient urban ecosystem. As we implement these solutions, we're not just adding green spaces to our cities. We're fundamentally reimagining what urban life can be, creating environments that nurture both human communities and natural ecosystems. While urban environments pose challenges to our connections with nature, they also offer unique opportunities for innovative green solutions. By reimagining our cities, we can combat nature deficit disorder and create healthier, more livable urban spaces for all. As we've journeyed through the concrete canyons of our cities and explored the green oases emerging within them, we've seen both challenges and the immense potential of urban environments in addressing the nature deficit disorder problem. Our cities, once seen as the antithesis of nature, are now becoming laboratories for innovative approaches to reintegrating the natural world into our daily lives. The urban landscape, which has long prioritized efficiency and development over green spaces, is becoming reimagined and reshaped. We've seen how vertical gardens can transform stark building facades into living, breathing ecosystems. We've explored rooftop parks that create havens of tranquility high above the bustling streets. And we've explored community gardens that not only provide fresh food, but also cultivate a sense of connection, both to the earth and to our neighbors. And we've also witnessed ambitious rewilding projects that are allowing nature to reclaim its place in our urban fabric. These solutions show us that the dichotomy between urban and natural environments is a completely false one. Our cities don't have to be devoid of nature. In fact, they offer unique opportunities to create new forms of urban ecology, ones that can be even more diverse and resilient than the ones that existed before. By reimagining our cities in this way, we're not just combating nature deficit disorder, we're creating healthier, more livable urban spaces for all. We're improving air quality, we're reducing urban heat islands, we're supporting biodiversity, and we're providing spaces for physical activity and social interaction. We're addressing issues of environmental justice by working to ensure that access to nature is not a privilege, but a right for all urban dwellers. These green urban solutions are helping to reconnect city residents with the natural world. In doing so, they're fostering a greater awareness of our dependence on our natural systems and our responsibility to protect them. This reconnection is crucial not just for our individual well-being, but for the health of our planet as we face global environmental challenges. As we look to the future, the potential for further innovation is immense. Advances in technologies, material sciences, and our understanding of urban ecology will undoubtedly lead to even more creative ways of greening our cities. The cities of tomorrow could be veritable forests of buildings, where nature is not just an afterthought, but it's an integral part of the urban design from the ground up. But this future won't happen on its own. It requires a shift in how we think about urban development, a commitment from city planners and policymakers, and engagement from citizens who demand and support these green initiatives. As we conclude, let's remember that our cities are what we make them. They can be barren landscapes of concrete and steel that exasperate our disconnection from nature, or they can be vibrant green spaces that nurture our well-being and our connection to the natural world. The choice is ours. By reimagining and reshaping our urban environments, we have the power to combat nature deficit disorder, to create cities that are not just sustainable, but reintegrative. Cities that don't just minimize harm to the environment, but actively contribute to its health. Cities that don't just separate us from nature, but that immerse us in it. This is the promise and the challenge of our urban future. As we move forward, let's embrace the opportunity to create cities that are not just places where we live, but places where we and nature can truly thrive together. This month, I challenge you to participate in or to organize a community green space project in your neighborhood. Use the hashtag #UrbanNatureRevival to share your initiatives and to inspire others. Yearning for a touch of wilderness in your urban landscape?
Well, it's time to reimagine our cities as thriving ecosystems where nature and concrete coexist in harmony.
Our free virtual forest bathing session is your blueprint to bringing the healing power of nature into even the most urban of environments. Join us on an inspiring journey as we explore innovative ways to infuse our daily lives with the restorative energy of the natural world.
Learn how to create your own urban oasis, discover the secrets of vertical gardens, and uncover the potential for wilderness in unexpected places. This isn't just about greening our cities. It's about revolutionizing our relationship with the urban landscape and reclaiming our birthright as creatures of nature. Be part of the movement that's transforming concrete jungles into vibrant, life-affirming spaces. Your city and your well-being will thank you.